The Alchemy of Laughter, Stefano Benni's Worlds of Wonder. Stefano Benni, born on August 12, 1947 in Bologna, is one of Italy's best-known contemporary satirical writers, a novelist-poet-journalist whose playful language, neologisms, and mixture of satire, fantasy and social commentary have made him both a popular favorite and a distinctive voice in late 20th and early 21st century Italian letters. Over a career spanning journalism, novels, short stories, theatrical pieces and collaboration with performers, Benni developed a barbed yet whimsical style that attacks political and social absurdities while celebrating language, popular culture and collective imagination. Born and raised in Bologna in 1947, Benni began his professional life in journalism and magazines, writing for periodicals such as Linus, Illinois Mago, L'Espresso, Panorama and Il Manifesto, before publishing fiction that drew on serialized pieces and the subcultural magazines of the 1970s. He moved fluidly between journalism, radio and television writing, theater and the printed page, early collaborations with satirists and performers, including early work with Beppe Grillo, helped shape his public persona as a satirist position between countercultural critique and mainstream recognition. Major works and signature texts. Benni's output is large and varied. Several books are widely regarded as landmarks of his career. Bar Sport, 1976, a comic portrait of the small-town Italian café, the bar, populated by an ensemble of stock characters and bright, absurd vignettes. Bar Sport established Benni's mix of episodic humor, local realism and linguistic play and quickly became a cult and popular classic. Terra, 1983, a science fiction-tinged satire that parodies Cold War politics, mass media, and technocratic modernity. Its blend of speculative whimsy and social critique exemplifies Benni's ability to use genre to stage cultural critique. Il Bar Sotto il Mare, The Café Beneath the Sea, late 1980s, a sequence of fantastic and reflective tales that mix melancholy, fable and comic invention. It reinforced Benni's reputation as a writer for whom fantasy and satire are complementary tools. Other notable titles that show Benni's range include Bail, Saltatempo, Come si spaventati guerrieri and La Compagnia dei Celestini. He has also published essays, poetry and theatrical works, and many of his books have been reissued in popular Italian editions. Style, themes and techniques. Benni's writing is recognizable for several recurring techniques and themes. Satire and political critique, his books often ridicule bureaucratic absurdity, consumer culture, political opportunism and the vacuity of media spectacle, but usually through laughter, exaggeration and grotesque portraits rather than polemical invective. Linguistic play and neologisms. Benni delights in wordplay, invented vocabulary and playful syntax, using linguistic exuberance as both comic effect and a mode of resistance to flat, technocratic language. Genre blending, he freely mixes realism, fable, fantasy, and science fiction, using speculative scenarios to illuminate contemporary social malaise and to create moral fables clothed in deliciously impossible details. Popular registers and cultural miscellany. Benni draws on mass culture, sports bars, variety shows, comics, classical literary allusions, and political news. All woven into narratives that speak to broad, often multigenerational Italian readerships. Cultural impact in Italy. Benni's influence on Italian culture is both popular and intellectual. Bar Sport and several other titles became touchstones for generations of readers. His work has sold in the millions in Italy and has been reprinted widely in affordable popular editions. Beyond sales, Benni's voice shaped a strain of Italian satire that is at once caustic and affectionate toward ordinary life, comedies that critique without losing a sense of human attachment. Academics and critics have read him as a channel of countercultural sensibility in post-1968 Italy, an author who preserves a skeptical, often subversive outlook while working in forms that reach a wide public. Benni's presence in magazines, radio and occasional screen collaborations amplified his cultural footprint. His sketches and collaborations with performers, for example material connected with Beppe Grillo and other comedians, brought his satirical sensibility into the live and televised public sphere, making him a recognizable cultural figure beyond the bookshop. Global influence and translations. While Benni's primary cultural domain is Italy, his books have been translated into many languages. Commonly cited estimates place translations into around 20 languages, and have attracted international publishers interested in his distinctive mixture of satire and fantasia. English-language publishers, and others across Europe and Latin America, have brought selected titles to non-Italian readers, and academic interest in comparative studies of European satire has occasionally foregrounded Benni as an exemplar of late 20th century Italian modes of political and cultural humor. Two aspects of his international reach are notable. First, translation has introduced Benni's neologistic and pun-heavy prose to readers and translators facing the challenge of rendering his wordplay, making him a case study in translation studies. Second, festivals and international literary programs have invited him as a representative of contemporary Italian satire, enhancing cross-cultural conversation about humor, genre, and political critique. Critical reception and academic interest. Critics are split between those who celebrate Benni as a brilliant satirist and linguistic inventor and those who see limits in his reliance on episodic sketches and populist registers. Scholarly work has analyzed his countercultural echoes, his negotiation of popular and literary forms, and his use of speculative genres to stage political critique. This mixed reception reflects a broader tension in cultural studies between the demands of literary seriousness and the value of books that succeed in reaching mass audiences while retaining complexity. Stefano Benni matters because he represents an Italian literary path that refuses the strict separation between high literature and popular comic culture. His work demonstrates how satire, fantasy, and linguistic invention can be mobilized to speak to broad publics about serious social issues without surrendering pleasure or irony. In Italy, his books became part of the reading lives of multiple generations. Internationally, his work has contributed to conversations about translation, cultural transfer, and the role of humor in political critique. For students of contemporary European literature, Benni remains a useful, often necessary subject for understanding how narrative form and public discourse co-evolve in late 20th and early 21st century societies. We hope you have enjoyed watching the video.